Most people think a narcissist just gets angry when things do not go their way. They have no idea how deep it really goes. The real destruction begins the moment a narcissist is forced to face something they were never built to handle: accountability. Because accountability does not just hurt a narcissist, it exposes them. This happens when their grade A supply abandons them and shows the world, and of course them, that they can live without the narcissist, and the narcissist cannot digest it. On the very day when it happens, something changes in the narc's brain, and the seed of psychopathy is planted in them, because they see walking away as a real-life betrayal that they can't stand. It shows them they are not untouchable, not superior, not feared the way they imagined. And once that illusion breaks, their mind does not just get disturbed, it completely collapses. A narcissist spends their entire life running from who they really are. So when someone they underestimated finally stands up to them, when their supply suddenly has the courage to walk away, when their manipulation stops working, that is when their downfall begins, and every fear inside them disappears. After that, they can stoop to any level. Their inner collapse pushes them into a darker, more dangerous version of themselves, a manufactured psychopath. A narcissist does not essentially become a psychopath because of one big moment, or because they were born that way. They become one because accountability forces them into a place where they cannot survive reality. And when reality hits a narcissist, they don't break down like normal people, they mutate. And today I'm going to show you the 5 phases of narcissistic descent, the 5 phases they go through before they reach that final psychopathic point of no return, the exact psychological descent that turns them from a manipulator into a ferocious predator. Stage number 1, the accountability shock. This happens when the narcissist is finally held accountable for their wrongdoings. No matter how much they try to escape it, they are forced to feel the pain, and none of their deflection or crazy-making tactics work anymore. They're forced to sit with the consequences, and that's something a narcissist cannot survive, right? They cannot tolerate it. This is the moment their entire identity shatters. When a narcissist is confronted with the truth and has no exit left, their world collapses internally. Accountability feels like death to them, because it exposes the one thing they've spent their entire life running from: who they really are. And when they are forced to sit in their own damage, even for a second, their mind begins its descent that I was talking about. This happens when the narcissist underestimates their supply, the people they abuse, and believes they will never leave them or show courage to abandon them. When their grade A supply shows courage to walk away, their whole false sense of self starts to crumble. They are for the first time held accountable. This is also the moment they meet themselves for the first time, and they hate what they see. Narcissists survive on denial. The second you strip that away, they face a truth so ugly, so disgusting to their ego that their psyche cracks. They do not process accountability like a normal person. They experience it as an attack, an insult, a humiliation so severe that it rewires their brain. This is the birthplace of their psychological collapse, the beginning of the transformation from a delusional manipulator into something far darker. Which brings us to stage number 2, the internal rage accumulation. When narcissists are forced to sit in the misery they created and are held accountable for it, the rage inside them starts building. This rage becomes more dangerous because the helplessness they feel turns into explosive anger. This is where their ego begins to rot from the inside. The rage they feel is not normal anger. No, it is humiliation mixed with a deep sense of powerlessness. They can't handle the fact that someone didn't fall for their tactics. So the rage grows silently, tightening like a noose around whatever is left of their humanity. This is the beginning of their emotional decay. What makes this phase terrifying is that the rage becomes quiet. A silent narcissist is far more dangerous than a screaming one. Their silence is not calm, it is pure calculation. It is the moment they stop reacting emotionally and start reacting strategically. They begin plotting how to restore their superiority, how to punish the person who dared to expose them, how to erase the shame burning inside them. This is not anger anymore, it's transformation, the emotional equivalent of a switch breaking permanently. And this rage becomes worse when the narcissist forgets the difference between right and wrong. Before this, they had no morals, but now they don't even fear the law. The rage takes over them, and the most dangerous part is that they never show it. This rage is different. They plan and plot just to satisfy their bruised ego. That's what their psychopathy is all about. Stage number 3, the empathy shutdown. You may wonder, how can there be an empathy shutdown when narcissists have no empathy from day one? You need to know that before this point, they used to fake love and do things that made them appear human, just like the rest of us. But now, they stopped doing even that. They show their full dark side without any fear. This is where the mask dies. The little human imitation they used to perform, the fake affection, concern, warmth, all of it disappears. They no longer pretend to be a person. Their face goes cold, eyes flatten, and the performance ends. What remains is the real creature underneath, emotionless, evil, and frighteningly empty. This is the phase where they stop needing to be liked. Narcissists usually rely on admiration, validation, and being seen as good. But after accountability and rage break them down, they lose interest in appearing human at all. The social mask becomes useless to them. They stop caring about how they look, how they sound, or how they come across. This is the psychological death of their humanity, the point where their emotional world goes dark and hollow, like a light switch flicked off forever. Stage number 4, the revenge-focused mindset. When the narcissist sees that the person in front of them have no fear whatsoever and is ready to leave, can abandon them, they become the most dangerous. They plan revenge that can cost you your life, because they don't want to comprehend that you can walk away and injure their ego. This is the phase where you stop dealing with the wounded false self and start dealing with a predator. Nothing enrages a narcissist more than the sight of someone who is not scared to leave. Your independence is the deepest injury, and that injury breeds revenge. They become calculating, obsessive, and willing to cross lines they never crossed before, because your freedom feels like their death. This is the blueprint of every narcissist's downfall, when love turns into vengeance. A narcissist does not handle abandonment like a normal person. They experience it as total annihilation and emotional death. When they realize you are no longer under their spell, something inside them snaps. They begin seeing you as an enemy, not a partner. Your happiness becomes an insult. This is where their mind reorganizes around destruction. And let me tell you about this destruction. This destruction not only destroys you, it destroys them as well. But I don't even care. That's why they become so punitive and so vindictive. Especially if you're dealing with a narcissist comorbid borderline, they will go to jail, ruin their business, or burn their entire life to the ground, if that is what it takes to get that sadistic pleasure. Number 5, the psychopathic breakpoint. This is where their beast mode activates. They stop caring about society at this point, what people say, or maintaining any image. They go rogue. They turn cruel and can stoop to any level. Like I said, this is a point of no return. Their conscience burns out, mask disintegrates, and they abandon every rule that kept them somewhat human. They can no longer care about reputation, consequences, or morality, even fake morality. They become cold, calculated, and capable of harm without hesitation. This is the moment the narcissist does not just act like a psychopath, they become one. And this is their final mutation, the death of the ego and the birth of a predator. They no longer operate on emotion, they operate on instinct, domination, punishment, control, and complete erasure. There is no guilt left, just a mind that has detached completely from humanity. This is the phase every survivor needs to understand. Once they cross this point, they don't come back. They have nothing left to lose and nothing left to protect. They become the pure, unfiltered version of what they always were underneath. A human body with a dead soul and a predatory mind. Which is why, when you're dealing with a narcissist like this, you have to be exceptionally strategic and get yourself out as soon as possible. Because dealing with them is like dealing with the angel of death itself. I will talk to you in the next one.